Today, I will continue my reflections on the series that was just concluded last week on Not All Factual, but All True, the story of the Old Testament. I have said that the history of the Old Testament was shaped in large part during the reign of one king, King Josiah, who reigned in the southern kingdom of Judah from approximately 640 to 610 BCE. Josiah had a grand vision for what the kingdom of Judah should be. There was a political part of his ambition in that he wanted to unite the kingdoms of Judah and the northern kingdom of Israel and create one great empire. At the same time, Josiah was a radical religious reformer, and he wanted the people both of Judah and of Israel to practice the religion of Yahweh only, give up their worship of false foreign gods, and to center their worship in Jerusalem and no longer at the shrines that were present throughout both Judah and Israel. So Josiah had a grand scheme to really conquer the kingdom of Israel. But in order to do that, he had to win over the allegiance or win the approval of those who would have to pay the taxes in order to make his vision become a reality. And so in order to win over these people, he included in the book of Deuteronomy, which was written during his reign, he included a series of laws regarding social justice and the protection of the poor, the widows, and the orphans. So he said that at every 7 years, debts should be forgiven by those who to whom money is owed. The rights of family farmers to own their land were protected. Women who were rejected by their husbands gained inheritance rights. Farmers were expected to give the tithe to the poor every 3rd year. Resident aliens were to be protected from discrimination, and slaves were to be freed from service after 6 years. The other thing that Josiah wrote into the book of Deuteronomy were some limitations upon the power of the king himself, that the king should not use his office to enrich himself at the expense of his people. What makes these rules about social justice and limited government so important is that these are the first time rules like this, laws like this, appear in the ancient world. And in my final discussion of Josiah and the Deuteronomistic history, I'll explain the legacy of King Josiah and why these laws are so important.